Easy. Well, too loud.
We go live in five, four, three, two. Smash him, crack that fool. Hot quarterback, crack. Yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash, watch that move. Too swift, can't catch these dudes. Hit him, 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 hit him. Listen, Eagles talk, Eagles. Philly, please.
All right. Little technical difficulty there. Our sound person is on the board, but he's I don't think he has enough bandwidth. All right, let's just be honest about it. I don't think he has enough bandwidth. But anyway, this is your man Dante the Dark Knight. Welcome to another edition of Eagles Talk. Upon further review, where we will talk about the Eagles and their victory over the New Orleans Saints. As unlikely as it seemed going into that game, we actually pulled it out, and they are on a one-game winning streak. They have won one in a row, and bigger than that, we have a quarterback controversy. Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz. Doesn't seem too huge right now. He had a good game, Jalen Hurts. He kind of sparked the offense somewhat to the point of we scored 24 points. Not bad. He kept the ball moving at times. He was just he wasn't great. He just was he was okay. He was all right. He did what he was asked to do, and that was to make quick decisions. If there was nothing there, run it. I think that was directly told to him. If there's nothing there, pull it down and run it, because that's what he did a lot of times. If there was nothing there, he didn't waste a lot of time back in the pocket. He made his first, second read, and then he was out. They had a lot of design runs for him, And even bigger than that, they actually gave the ball to Miles Sanders last week. That probably could be counted as a big thing right there. Is the fact that they gave the ball to Miles Sanders and ran the ball a lot more than they did when Wentz was in there. So the play calling helped him out. His athleticism, his quick decision, getting out of the pocket, him taking care of the ball also really helped us out in this game this past week against the Saints. What's up, Nichelle? How's it going? Are you there? Cause you see, frozen.
I don't know if
Oh,
you
she
can
must be
hear me.
frozen. I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
frozen.
I used to could hear you. Yeah, you're frozen.
I
All
don't.
right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I do hear you. I do hear you.
I'm gonna restart.
All right.
Something's up. Something's in this right now. I'm gonna jump back in.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna put you down. All right. So here we go. No Pat, no Nichelle. It's just the Dark Knight. All right. Look, we again. This is Eagles talk. I don't even have my soundboard. Excuse me. This is Eagles talk. Eagles coverage show by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And like I said in the opening, we had a good game. We beat the New Orleans Saints. Not great game, but it was a good enough game for us to win by Jalen Hurts. Now, if he wins the next 4 games, or he runs out, what are we now? 4-8-1. If he wins the next 3 games, I don't know what do we do. I mean, I'm gonna ask you guys, what do we do if Jalen Hurts wins the next 3 games? I know we're not going to the playoffs. I'm not even going to mention that, but there's a possibility. I can't say it. I can't not mention it because it's still a possibility. But how about if he wins out and then somehow miraculously takes us to the playoffs? You get rid of Wentz? That's the question. People have been talking about that this week. Some people want to get rid of him already after 1 game. I don't understand where that's coming from. I think he deserves more respect than that. But if indeed Jalen Hurts leads the Philadelphia Eagles to 3 consecutive wins to end the season, we have a full-blown quarterback controversy. I still don't think it's grounds to get rid of Wentz, to trade him or anything like that. I think you owe it to him another year, let him come back and maybe compete for the starting position. Because you got him signed to a big contract. I would not go out and try to trade him because he didn't tear it up. Jalen Hurts didn't tear it up in this past game here. Even if he tears it up in the last 3 games, I mean, like astronomical numbers, I still would not use just those 3 games to get rid of to make a decision as big as getting rid of my franchise quarterback over. So in my eyes, I would be bringing back Wentz regardless of the outcome of the last 3 games here. With that being said, I like to see what Doug does with Jalen Hurts in the last 3 games of the year, because that's what's changed that was a big change, as well as the quarterback position itself. The next biggest change was Doug Peterson's play calling and scheming for the game. He actually ran the ball. He actually had design runs for Jalen Hurts. So that was just as key to Jalen Hurts' win over the New Orleans Saints as his play, was the fact that Doug Peterson actually schemed to take advantage of what he does best and what his team does best, which we've been asking for all year long. So it finally happened. Then the offensive line played better. There was no sacks given up last week. So the people around the quarterback played better also, and that contributed to the fact that the reason why he had such success on Sunday. So I give my hats off to him. He won a game. We haven't seen him win in a while. The offense wasn't explosive or anything like that, but he did keep some drives moving. Although he was 4-13 on 3rd down, they were 4-13 on 3rd down. That was better considering how we were in some games. There was 1 game we didn't even convert a 1st down, so that was a little bit better. So I'm pleased. I'm pleased with what happened on Sunday. Let me go to you guys in the room. Make sure you share the show because I was not able to get out and share the show. Little technical difficulties coming into the show. That's what you get when you do a live program. All right, JT was in the house first. He says, yo, what's up, JT? Drexel Davis is second. William Davenport, Jalen Hurts is the answer. Tom Gannon, what's up? All, what's up? JR is in the house. He says, what's up, everyone? What's up, man? Roll with Jalen. Somebody says, trade Carson to the Colts. Really? You want to trade him? I mean, I don't know. You would think that would be a perfect marriage, but I'm hearing some reports that, Carson's not the best to get along with. That's just what I'm hearing. That's what was spoken in the anonymous reports a couple of years back. And it's starting to rear its ugly head again. I don't know. So with that being said, we just assume that Frank Wright would like Carson Wentz back. Who knows? Maybe Frank Wright doesn't want Carson Wentz. I don't know. We just don't know. But I think that's a drastic move to call for him to be traded. But yeah, I do agree with this. William Carson has been sorry all season. Yes, with all the things that have gone wrong with his game, he has to be accountable for some of that too. He had a shitty offensive line. I give you that. Doug didn't help you out play calling wise. I give you that. But when there were plays to be made, simple plays to be made, you didn't make those. When there was simple throws to be made, you weren't always accurate. When there were quicker reads to be made and quicker decisions to be made, you were indecisive and held onto the ball too long. So all of that is on Carson Wentz. So I'm not saying that he is above being accountable or held to task for how he's played. He's played horrible. And but even with that being said, I think he's fixable. I just don't necessarily agree that it's going to be this coaching staff that fix him. And with that being said, maybe a trade might be good for him. But I wouldn't give up on him if I was the Eagles. Bill Kroll, Wentz too expensive to trade. He needs a chance to compete at least in training camp. Yeah, and if Jalen Hurts does good, the rest of the remainder of the games here, he's going to have to battle for. He's going to have to compete for a starting position. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to. I don't think he comes into camp if Jalen Hurts finishes off this season. I don't think Carson Wentz comes into camp next year as number one on the depth chart. That's just me. I think they will have to compete depending on what Jalen Hurts does. Latero says we need new coach Kevin O'Connell, Brian Dabble, Pete Carmichael, Joe Brady, Deuce Staley, Robert Sala. Sucks. We lost Jack Driscoll for the season though. What? I didn't hear that. This happened today or something? Hurts, baby. Yeah. All right. Great Goose Spotlight. All right. Let me see if my co-host is ready now. Hello. Can you? All right. I see you moving. Can I hear
Can you
you?
hear me?
Oh yeah, I hear you. Oh, there she is. All right. So we got a co-host back. Just talking about Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz, and if he finishes out this season playing okay and leads us to wins and looks good doing it, what happens with Carson Wentz? I'm saying that I think you still bring him back next year, and there's just a quarterback competition that goes on in camp. But I don't see a scenario where I would trade Carson Wentz. At least me. That's me personally, but we don't know what they have in their minds. And some people are calling for him to be traded, and some people are calling for new head coaches. New head coach. I'm not with him being traded, but I am with the new head coach. I am with that.
I mean, to be honest with you, one is going to stay and one is going to go. That's what we're really looking at because, it's clear that there's a disconnect in the coaching between Doug and Wentz. So that's not a marriage made in heaven anymore. And it's transparent now that a lot of what was holding those two together were previous coaches, such as Frank Wright. So I don't really see how they're going to be able to coexist and still be successful. So one or two things are going to happen. Lori has to either get behind Wentz and figure out this coaching piece, and maybe that's with a new OC and a new quarterback coach, or he has to get behind Doug. But it's clear after this season that they're both not going to work together to be productive. And not saying neither one are talented in their respective positions, but that's going to be tough. That's going to be really tough.
Oh man, is it? And then you have to throw in the mix the general manager too. So like it's a lot that has to be worked out during this.
I mean, we're Eagles fans too, so we want everybody fired when we're not happy. Howie got to go, Doug got to go, Wentz got to go. It's like Russian roulette on who we want on the chopping block, pretty much at this point in time.
Oh, that's horrible, man. I mean, it's what this franchise has evolved to after 2 years, 3 years after the Super Bowl. This is the mess that we're in, and I say that all but the quarterback. I say everybody else can go. Like I'm talking about, he can go, and I appreciate it. I can't say it enough, but this thing is a wreck right now. When you look at what's happening on the field, I mean, Doug he made a kind of comeback this week. But that makes me even more angry because we've been yelling for him to do this all year. We've been yelling for him to do this when Wentz was in the game. Run the ball, run the damn ball.
Right.
You know, do some of the things. You know, I don't propose that he calls playing run plays for Carson Wentz. I'm not a fan of that. But it worked with Jalen Hurts, meaning that he came up with something creative to take advantage of his current quarterback's athletic ability. He did what his quarterback does best. He put him in the best position to be successful based on his skill set. Why can't he do that with Carson Wentz? I told
you he was going to do that. I said that. I was like, Doug is going to do everything we've been asking for as soon as Hurts comes in the game. And he did not disappoint. And he did exactly that. So I don't know. I don't know why he waited. I don't know if he's trying to get his own job security and he's like bunked Wentz and the crew. I'm out for self. I want to keep my job here or what. But either way, both of them are going to get either a head coach or a starting job, whether they stay here or they go. And if Hurts finishes well, that's even going to be more of a controversy because people are going to be gunning like, all right, you got two quarterbacks. You got to come up off of one of those. You know, the rest of the league's going to be gunning for one of these quarterbacks if Hurts finishes out well.
Yeah, I agree with that. They're going to be coming. It's going to be up to the Eagles. And this is why it's really sticky because if this happens, now you need someone that is in the front office that you're confident is going to make the right decision. You know what I'm saying? That's going to make the right deal for something. And Howie's on the hot seat himself. So, like, wow, it's a lot to unfold here. I mean, it's a lot. If this guy plays good and at the end of the season they have to actually make a decision, is Howie the one that makes that? Do you want him in on making that? I mean, his track record has not been good. It's not been good. I mean, oh my goodness. Look, Richard Booth says, bring in Reddick as GM. Howie does numbers and the new coach. Yeah. I love Reddick. I would love to have Reddick in the building for real. I will feel confident and more relaxed, at peace. I will be at peace knowing that somebody in there that knows something about talent evaluation, and if not, knows how to go get people who know something about talent evaluation. You don't have to be the smartest guy in the room. You just have to have the smartest people around you. So you don't have to beat your chest and try to be a talent evaluator to prove to other people that you are. The thing is just to be successful at bringing in talent. It doesn't have to be by your call. So after 4 or 5 drafts when you haven't produced anything, you would think you would say, all right, look, I'm not the best at this. Let me go get some people, because at the end of the day, winning is successful for me. As the president, I mean, what is he? president. He's not GM. He's president of football operations or something. What is he? I don't know his
Yeah.
title. But whatever it is, the club winning is successful to him, and they're not winning. You know what I'm saying? They're not winning with this
No.
draft over all these years. You're not producing players and stuff like that. So I'm calling for Howie too. I would settle for a Louis Riddick coming in, but Louis Riddick is not coming in to work under Howie. He's worked with Howie, so he knows Howie. He's called Howie out on the game Sunday. He called him out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So he's not going to come work for Howie. So that's out. But I would, if I had to pick one or the other, I would take Louis Riddick at this point.
If you think this was any other city, do you think they would be as harsh on their star QB having a down year and their Super Bowl winning coach having a down year? Do you think that's kind of the nature of Philly sports and how intense and passionate and sometimes unforgiving we are? Because I notice a lot of people say, in the comments are discussing the fact that, a lot of top quarterbacks have had down years, and we're ready to throw the bathwater out with the baby on all of them.
Right.
The pick. You could be in Camp Howie, but we kind of been mad at Howie, I think, for about 2-3 years. I think we really just got mad at Wentz kind of this year. But the play calling, I think there definitely has been a change and a downgrade since Frank Wright left. It just hasn't been the same since. But I just say that to say, do you think it's because the nature of Philadelphia sports that we're unforgiving? I mean, how many years did we give Brett Brown on the Sixers? What did he get? 6?
I know, a lot.
8?
Yeah. I mean, but Brett was a different situation. He took one for the team knowing that they were going to be tanking. So, your heart kind of went out to him for him, saying like, yo, he took a hit to his career just to come here and tank for 3 years. When we get some players, we at least owe him the opportunity to come to get the coach this new team or this new talent. Doug has been here. It's the opposite. So what I say to answer your question, it is a little bit of both, but I think that we as Philly fans are knowledgeable. So I'm not, at least me, I'm not asking. I understand that players have down years, and I understand quarterbacks can have multiple down years and still bounce back. We can go to no further than Derek Carr and look at, he had about 2 or 3 bad seasons, and he's bounced back nice this year. So I understand that, and that's the only one I'm willing not to part ways with, because we've seen Howie over the years, and I know it probably sounds asinine to be saying this because they just won the Super Bowl 3 years ago. So I can't discount that, but we've seen this starting to fall apart right before our eyes. 9-7 next year, 9-7 last year, just playing mediocre until something was on the line, and then barely making the playoffs, and then getting bounced, and then no draft picks that have made the Pro Bowl or anything like that. So these guys have been, it's been slowly developing to get to this point. It's not been a fall off the cliff type of thing. So I don't think we're being hasty in calling for this. We're looking back and saying like, wow, we had a Super Bowl that was blinding us and keeping us from looking at all this so closely. We had a Super Bowl. We were looking through Super Bowl colored glasses, and that's what you know what I'm saying? That's why they stay here so long. Some people were saying Doug Peterson should automatically get 5 years after that Super Bowl win. And look at us in third year. Look how bad he looks. All right, man. Look, we got Pat. You ready to come back? All right, he's ready. So we're gonna add Pat in here. Pat, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. I was taking a meeting. Got to do some charity work for the people. So it's that holiday time. So we gotta give back to people that are less fortunate.
Oh, good job. Who's running our accounts? Because we're commenting, and I don't know who's typing this stuff in. Have we been hacked? Oh, that was you? I'm like, yo. I see Eagles Talk. I'm like, yo, I'm Eagles Talk.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing? That was me, my bad. I had 2 computers going at once, and that's why the audio kind of messed up. I heard the whole conversation. But the one thing that I didn't hear is it's time for shots.
Yeah, we can do that now. You know, you had our soundboard. You hold us hostage when you're not on here. I got to get the
What
soundboard
you
back.
got over there? What's that? Is that a Christmas gift? What's that?
Look at this, man.
Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook. That is
Jameson.
by Eagles fans for Eagles
Pause.
fans.
I'm gonna grab my shot.
So I went to a wine and spirit store here in Philadelphia, and I was looking for the Eagles Crown Royal bag, because a lot of people actually DM me to see if they have any. They didn't, but they have the Jameson Eagles Fly with the glass. I don't know
Wow,
if
that's
you got
cool.
to see the glass.
That's really cool.
It's down low.
So that's brand new. So you're just cracking it.
Yes, I'm about to crack it for the first time. If I can.
All right. So me myself, I will be partaking in the Kettle One vodka today. Kettle One vodka. Our co-host is in the background, clink, 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 clinging glasses.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
My bad.
And I can't get this thing on my.
Here go the
I
glass.
can, but I didn't stop the mute. I have Kettle.
Oh, yeah, Kettle One.
I got Kettle One too. All right, okay, great
Kettle
minds
Day.
think alike.
So
But
I can't. I didn't get Kettle One.
All right, here we go.
I'll get
Wow.
Splash of lemonade.
All right, somebody out there is drinking 100 proof Rumple Mints. Wow, what's that? What is that? Tell me what that is. Anyway, here we go to our Philadelphia Eagles and their win over the Saints. Down the hatch, 3-2-1. All right, we've done a quarter. We
Yeah.
might as well start the second quarter now.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right, so we have a controversy going on here, and it's just going to get more intense as the season goes on, and or Jalen Hurts has success. With each game he has success and a win, the deeper the controversy goes. We're ready to throw Wentz out. I'm not ready to throw Wentz out, but a lot of people are ready to throw Wentz out. At the very least, if Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, if Jalen Hurts finishes this season with 3 wins, or even 2 out of 3 wins out of the next 3, looks good doing it, there should be a quarterback competition next year. But I'm not trading Wentz. I think he's still fixable. Like Michelle said earlier, it's one of them has to go. Coach and quarterback cannot both be here next year. I don't think that's going to work. And I think Wentz is fixable, but I don't think he's fixable by this coaching staff. So my pick is to keep Wentz and find some new coaches. Now, we also know that there's another element to this mess, and that's the front office. So I'm calling for Howie. His role has got to change drastically. He cannot be in charge of talent evaluation, draft, or anything like that. We have seen enough of his picks and his choices. And, you could second guess a lot of picks, but we got a lot of people and we needed these positions. It's something that, all right, in the second round, you draft a wide receiver, and then the future Hall of Famer running backs goes next. But we need a wide receiver. We pick one, and then 2 picks later, the Hall of Fame wide receiver is going. You know what I'm saying? Why are we whiffing so bad on these picks here, man? So Howie has to be accountable for that. And we look down the roster, and it's not a very talented roster, man. It's not very talented. So Howie, let's get a talent person in here, a draft person in here. I may keep you around after that, depending on who it is. Because if it's Louis Riddick and he says you has to go, then you got to go. I'm sorry.
Well, I just
if
saw
he said he can't work.
Louis Riddick. So I don't know. We can throw Louis Riddick out the window because he's interviewing for the Texans and the Detroit Lions GM job as we speak. So that may be out the window.
Well, the Texans job would be more It would be more attractive to me. Detroit, no. I think we would have an upper hand over Detroit. I think we can get them before Detroit, but Houston would be an attractive job.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this thing is a little nerve wracking when you look at it and seeing what our quarterback has done for us over the past 5 seasons. He's been up, he's been down. The beginning of last season was, was a reason why we had to win out at the end of the season. And the way he played this year is the reason why we have so many question marks about should we fire everybody, clean house, and just start off with a new staff. It does really does fall on the quarterback hands, but it also does fall on the offensive coordinator's hands also because he's the one calling these flimsy, floppy plays.
No, he called better plays. Pat, you missed the memo. When it's not Wentz, he calls good plays. You didn't see the game?
And that's a terrible thing. Why in the world are all of a sudden you want to have rollout plays? You want to have misdirection plays. You want to have these plays we haven't seen before when you put your backup quarterback. Oh, you're protecting them. No, Carson Wentz is the reason why we drafted number 2 overall because he brings something to the table that the rest of these quarterbacks we thought didn't have. He has the ability to make plays outside the pocket. Get him outside the pocket. He's one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback this year outside the pocket. Believe it or not, for all how bad he played, he's still one of the best quarterbacks outside the pocket. Even the crazy stat about this, and a lot of people go off of Pro Football Focus in how they grade quarterbacks. Out of the 14 games this year, it's only one game that Jalen Hurts, his Pro Football Focus grade is higher than Carson Wentz. Only one game. But at the same time, the game plan was suited for the quarterback, for his ability. Why not do that, Carson Wentz? Stop trying to make him a pocket quarterback. We can't learn from our experience with Randall Cunningham? Randall Cunningham was the ultimate weapon, right? But Richie Kotite tried to make him a pocket quarterback. And what happened? He broke his leg in the pocket. Get this man on the outside, roll out, and let him be about his business.
I agree with you. Let the Bronco buck. Oh no, I'm kidding.
The Bronco buck.
The LTBB community is on hold right now. They on hiatus right now. We gotta let Jalen buck right now. But man, look, they helped him out. We called it. Doug is as predictable as a kindergarten gardener at this point. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, like. He did everything we asked him to do when Carson was in there, when Jalen Hurts was in there. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Carson is broken. I think he's seeing ghosts. I think he's seeing ghosts and shadows and all that, which keeps him from doing some of the things we saw Jalen Hurts do out there, which was be decisive in the pocket. Couple reads and he was out. He wasn't holding on to the ball too long. Couple times he rolled out, wasn't there, held it till the last second, and actually threw the ball away. He did some good things. Didn't do great things, but he did some good things, and he kept some drives moving along. And the biggest change was the fact that Doug Peterson decided to give the ball to Miles Sanders. We've been asking for that a lot, and he actually did it this past Sunday. And guess what? It worked. This guy is. We find out. Well, we already knew that. Doug just didn't know it. We find out that he's an explosive running back that can break it at any time. But I knew that all along. I don't know about you guys, but I've seen that.
Every announcer knew that. Every announcer during the game, every recap of the game was, well, they finally used Miles Sanders. It wasn't just us. It wasn't just us fans. Every commentator during the game, it was, he's had his most carries today as he did in how many games? That's disgraceful. So you have to ask yourself, is he setting up to fail? Because you can tell Carson's frustration is coming out in his play. And, I don't think it's so much of living in full shadow and he has the all of that, because he was still pretty good a couple of years after the Super Bowl. But I think Doug calling the plays and taking off the focus of making sure he's in the best position to be successful compounds that frustration. So all of those issues that he may have buried to try and get past what was done with Nick Foles and hurting himself and breaking his back. And I mean, he's gone through a lot. So yeah, some of that stuff is going to play into that. And you're only going to overcome those things when you have a strong support system in your coach and in your offensive coordinator. And he didn't have that this year. They let him down in that respect. So how could we expect him to perform well? I'm very big on coaching and development of the people that you are coaching or training or mentoring. And so if one of my mentees mess up, that's on me. Mm-hmm. That's really on me. Did I prepare them enough? Did I teach them enough? Same thing with coaching. It translates. Same thing with parenting.
I agree with you there. And that's why I don't think that this coaching staff is the one that fixes him. I think they were a part of the reason why he's broken now, by not giving him the attention that I think he needed as a second or even third year quarterback. And I told you my philosophy. I think after that second year when he almost won the MVP, I think they stopped coaching him on the things that they needed to continue to coach him on, which was like his fundamentals, his footwork, his mechanics. That you have to continue to work with a young quarterback on. And I think after he had such a great season in 2017, they were like, all right, he cool. He know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Basically, like, he know what he do. He doing all right. Boom, let's go to the next level. And then those people the only people in the building that were focusing on those things left the building. John DeFilippo and Frank Wright. Those were the people that were drilling him on mechanics and rhythm and fundamentals. And when they left the building, I think Doug was like, all right, he cool. He don't need that. He almost won MVP last year. He cool.
Yeah, no, the issue, I think the issue actually stems from the 2017 season. So if you go back to the end of that season after he got injured, just to have a shrine built in the locker room for a backup quarterback, to have a statue placed outside the building the following year for a backup quarterback, for there to always be a controversy after the backup quarterback leaves, whether you have the answer to him being in another city. The reporters are coming to you talking about the backup quarterback to you as your starting quarterback. As a player, that right there weighs on the back of your mind. On top of that, you come into this season after your front office gives you the money first and foremost, but second, they draft a quarterback not in the later rounds. I can understand the later rounds, but in the second round. So that also messes on your psyche. And the crazy thing about that is that if you're supposed to build this quarterback up, for one thing, if the Frank Wright left, John DeFilippo left, if these are the guys that's molding this quarterback, the best thing you do as GM is put things around him, because you might not have that guy to mold him any longer. You put things around him that can make his job easier so he doesn't regress like this.
Well, they have failed to do that. Instead of going to get him weapons, such as a Justin Jefferson, they went and got his possible replacement. I mean, like, I don't get it. I don't understand it, but we are where we are now. And this Philadelphia Eagles team takes on the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday. And Kyler Murray, the little guy.
Little guy with a lot of heart, man.
Yeah, he does have a lot of heart.
He does. He's fun to watch. I can't even lie.
He's like a little baseball shortstop, like playing football. I mean, you remind me of my little league quarterback. Just like they're the same size.
Yeah, he is. But he is. He's having a good year. He's having an okay year. His team went out and got him a weapon. Went out and got him arguably one of the best wide receivers in the game today. And our GM had an opportunity to do that, and he passed on that, and instead went and got our quarterback's replacement. I mean, I don't know. It just seems a little backwards to me.
You know what? Just look at the people that he passed. When he passed on Jalen Ramsey, Mika Fitzpatrick, DeAnthony Hopkins, DK Metcalf in the draft. I understand everybody's upset about the Justin Jefferson pick, but they still have some it still has some tell signs that can pan out in the long run. I don't know. Listen, I'm not the guy in him, but to pass over those Pro Bowl guys, it's just like beyond me, man.
Yeah, it's beyond everybody.
What they gave
Talking
up?
about-
What they gave up? A second round pick and like a fifth round pick or something for D Hop? Are you crazy? I'll do
Right.
that in a heartbeat. I do that on Madden. They won't even do that on Madden. All right? They won't even do that on Madden, man.
They would call that cheating. Yeah, they would call that cheating. That's what got that guy O'Brien fired out of Houston, though.
Yes, it did.
That got him out of there really quick. But getting back to this guy, so we face Kyler Murray, who has a weapon there. They're explosive, man. We're going to need our defense to come through and keep us in the game until we, and see if Jalen Hurts can work some of his magic. And Doug Peterson was play calling some type of way to scheme up some offense. Offense was better than what it was in previous weeks, in the previous 4 weeks, but it wasn't anything that it wasn't nothing to brag about. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean,
It wasn't spectacular. Second
Right.
half they got shut down.
right,
Let's be clear. Second half they got shut down. So whatever he was doing, the Saints adjusted fairly quickly, and we were still able to eke out a win because we put up a pretty good lead. But still, they had Doug pegged in the second half on what he was calling. So even with him giving us a glimpse of what we want, he still has to do more. And that's what's really critical. He has to do more.
Well, he did say, they left a lot of money on the table. They left a lot of money out there. Yes, they missed some big opportunities out there. And one thing that I have to say, I'm getting tired of this seeing this week in and week out right now. Even though he caught a touchdown, Alshon Jeffrey caught a touchdown. Seeing him taken away from snaps from your leading receiver. Your leading receiver in yards right now is Trevor Fulgham. And this guy right now only played 11 snaps. Travis only played 11 snaps in that game. You talk about
this
the
is
young
some
team,
bullshit, man. That's what I'm talking about.
young team and developing players. Well, you can't continue to put in these players in that's not making this team better. We love Alshon Jeffrey when he first came here. We appreciate him for what he has done. But just like Jason Peters, your service and your time is up.
And your time is up. All right, let's end this quarter.
Boom.
And that's the end of the quarter.
That was
All
right.
right, you're watching Eagles Talk. Yeah, you ended right on time. Eagles Talk. Eagles Talk by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. We like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So today, I am doing the Kettle One Vodka, family made. I don't know who family made it, but somebody's did. My co-host down there is doing Kettle One Citrus, and Jameson up top. The Eagles Jameson.
The Eagles
All right.
Jameson. I gotta see this glass. This glass is hot.
So let me know what you're drinking out there. Oh, that's a good glass.
Yeah.
Let me know what you're drinking out there, and we're going to talk some more about this upcoming game, our Philadelphia Eagles versus the Arizona Cardinals. 4:00 game, that is. All right, so to our Eagles, down the hatch, 3, 2, 1.
Woo.
All right, so we know that Doug is going to probably, because he's just as see-through as a kindergartner, as I said. He's going to come back and he's going to try to repeat exactly what happened this week. Watch what I tell you.
You know what? I think you're right. I think what you're going to see more plays that's geared towards running with the quarterback like Baltimore Ravens. Because I told you right after the game, there were a couple formations in there that look quite familiar to that Baltimore Ravens offense of last year. And don't we have one brain trust from Baltimore?
No, I don't recall.
I think Marty was
Marty
with
Wade?
them. Yeah, I think he was with them last year.
Oh, okay. I know we had Joe Douglas, but that's the only Baltimore Raven. Only Baltimore Raven tie I remember.
You're terrible, man.
Yeah, I knew he was out of the building. That's why I was like, I don't think we have anybody. But yeah, all right. If it is, it is. But this guy, Kyler Murray, is explosive. Defense is not frightening or anything like that, but it's definitely a game that we have to come out to play to win. You know, we have no games where we just show up anymore. That those days are over. We don't have not one game, you know, that we can just show up and we win. That game that we thought it was Cincinnati, and we couldn't even beat them. So we don't have those type of games anymore. So we have to come to play every week, and this is one of those games that we have to come and we have to show up, and everybody's going to have to show up if we're going to have continued success under Hurts, because that's the only way he won last week. It wasn't him performing, you know, like Joe Montana in his prime or Tom Brady or Mike Vick. It wasn't him putting the team on his shoulders. The fact that other people around him picked up their game is what helped propel him to a win last week. Doug Peterson calling a better game. Miles Sanders being included in the offense more. On defense, Sweat having 2 sacks, and other people raised their games, which that's what needed to be done in the first place. Like they said, not one person should this season be hung on. So it's not fair to hang it on Carson Wentz. I know he's played horribly, and he has. But there's a lot of players on this team, and this is the ultimate team sport. You can't hang it on the fact that the quarterback didn't play well, that the whole team is 3-8-1. So this past week, a lot of those players stepped up. The offensive line didn't give up a sack. We had a lot of people that played better last week that contributed to Jalen Hurts having a win in his first start as a rookie. And we're going to need a lot of that if it's going to continue this week. What do you think, Nichelle?
Definitely. I mean, where were they before this past week? That's what I want to know. You know, you wait till the backup quarterback comes in before you start producing. That accountability should have been there earlier in the season. So that was a little, I mean, I was happy they stepped it up, but just the timing didn't really sit right with me. But they only stepped up enough to squeak by. I mean, it was a good Saints team, so kudos to them. Kudos to our defense for holding it down. But can we sustain it is really going to be the question come this week. Can we sustain that, you know, against the little pinball Kyler Murray? Because he's going to be all over the place. You know, he's going to be breaking ankles. He's going to be all over the place. And can our O-line, you know, excuse me for saying this, but can they continue to hold their nuts up, please? Something? Seriously?
Oh, we have the foods on this show.
Your game is won and lost on the O-line. And that was the first time they really did their job this season.
Yeah,
you know, I'm really frustrated with the O-line, so I was glad that Kelsey took accountability, but they all should be apologizing to us and Carson right now, the O-line.
They should be giving the city some money back, right?
Right.
I totally agree with you. Like they need to hold their
awful.
water. They need to hold their water a little bit better. Being so that Jack Driscoll is out for the remainder of the season, he got it out. I gotta give him big ups because he played the rest of the game from I think the second quarter on with a strained MCL. I sprained my MCL, and that's very tough to do, especially for an offensive lineman. That's very tough. So big ups to Jack Driscoll. He just had a bad break this year, but the rest of these guys, they definitely need to step it up. From Jordan Malala to Isaac to Kelsey, even Herbig, like you're a starter now. It's no little gloves now. It's time to take the little pampers off and stepping into the grown man's draws. You know, it's time to put your jockstrap on and go out there and play some grown man football.
Well, it starts with the coach, man. I'm sorry, but you brought up Malata, and Malata, and Doug was asked about Malata, and he refused to give him a stroke of confidence for the job he's doing. Instead, looking out for Andre Dillard. You know what I mean? Like these are the things.
Why?
Like you know what I mean? Like this is the softness that I'm talking about. Like, dude, it wouldn't have took nothing to say the Malata is doing a hell of a job, and it's going to be some serious competition next. Even if you didn't want to name him the future left tackle, I would have still thrown him a compliment his way because he's been holding it down. and we know what it is. Dillard was the first round draft pick. So they want him to succeed because, and then Mulata was a 7th round project. But the way it seems today, the 7th round project is better than the 1st round draft pick. That's what it is today. It may change next year in the spring training. In training camp or whatever. But this is an example of what I need my head coach to do. I don't need him to be dancing on daisies and tiptoeing around things like that. Let me know that my left tackle now has come a long ways, doing a hell of a job, and stop worrying about the feelings of these other guys. You think Bill Parcells is going to be worried about his injured first round pick that hasn't played well yet over the guy that's in there and going to war every week? Come on, man.
He gives two craps about his feelings, about another player's feelings. His job is to win football games for the organization, not the player's feelings. He doesn't deal with contracts. He deals with winning on the football field. And that's what our head coach needs to be focused on, is winning on the football field and not these players' feelings. These are grown men. If they have soft feelings playing this grown sport of football, even though it's not likely what he used to, or we used to seeing it, it's still football, still a grown man sport. If you're out there bitching and moaning, you shouldn't be out there. I don't care if you're a 1st round draft pick. If Jordan Mailata is kicking behind and is graded as one of the best tackles, he's in the top 10 of left tackles since he came in the game. There's no way in the world I'm removing him from that position for a 1st round draft pick that haven't proven to me anything.
All right, let me go to some comments out here. Everett says Arizona is beatable too. If Eagles defense can beat up on Russell Wilson, it's a winnable game. Eagles schedule is easier than rest of NFC East. The remaining 3 games, I would agree with that, because 2 of them are against the NFC East. Washington and Dallas we have left. So we have Arizona, Washington, and Dallas. So yeah, we have a nice schedule. We can win some games. I'm not thinking too much about the playoffs, but it is still a possibility. You know what I'm saying? It is. Julie says Dougie is a total mess and has no control on this team. Brian Rogers says you play to win the game. And he said, Everett says, it's not about falling in love with names, it's about production. Exactly. It's about that. And the good coaches know that, and they don't play that draft pick politics that other places play. You know what I'm saying? They don't play that. They play the best person. The best person. That's who they play. You can't go wrong with that. If this person is outperforming that person, I play the person that's doing the best. But we got this culture that goes around some clubs where the draft pick politics come into play, and you can't have the 6th rounder outperforming the 1st rounder because it makes the GM look bad. We can't afford that. We can ill afford that here in Philadelphia. I mean, maybe the powerhouse teams, maybe Kansas City can play those games up there. They're just rolling along. Maybe Pittsburgh can play those games. But here, down in Philadelphia, 4-8-1, we cannot afford to do that. We need to play the best players we have available, but it takes people to even recognize who those players are. It takes talent evaluators, and that's what I question, not only in the front office, but on the coaching staff too. My goodness, it's a mess. It's a mess.
We're supposed to be in here, recapping the game, hyping the team up for the victory, but we're looking at the team for what it is. It's a facade, man. It's so much in this team that is the downfall. It's not just the quarterback. Like you said, it's the coaching staff. It's the players' willingness to go out, balls out, hold their nutsack, like Michelle said. It's a whole thing about this team. This team makeup is made to fail, not to be successful, but it is made to fail because of bad drafting, bad GM, and bad coaching.
All right, that's in the 3rd quarter. All right, so this is our final quarter here. Let's do it. This is Eagles Talk by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. We like to talk about our favorite football team. I know they are our favorite football team too, because I know it may sound like we don't like them and all that, but we do like them. We love them. We're just frustrated with where we're at 4-8-1. This is not a season that any of us foresaw coming, and this truly disappointing. And I just releasing some of that anger or frustration in my ranks. So I'm sorry if it doesn't sound like I love them, but I do love them. I love the Philadelphia Eagles. Anyway, we like to talk about them, and we like to talk about them drunk, or while we enjoy our favorite adult
No,
beverage.
you said it right. This year we've been drunk talking about these
So
things.
this week I am partaking in the Kettle One plain. Michelle is doing Kettle One Citron, and Pat is doing the Jameson Irish Whiskey Eagles Edition. Eagles Edition.
You gotta get the cup in there.
Yeah, get the glass.
This is a hot cup.
All right,
Matches
so
the
here,
background. It,
yeah, I see that. All right, so here we are to our Philadelphia Eagles, and down the hatch, 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
So Sulema is in the house. He said, "What's up?" Everett says, "Doesn't the GM get credit for undrafted free agent talent too? He gave him a contract too, right? Howie has his name attached to all players on the team. Yes, but that it still looks better if the first round pick, the guy that you traded to draft up to get, kind of comes out a winner over the 7th round pick that you picked up as a project. It looks better. It just looks better. But I understand what you're saying. I agree with you too." Cheers, says Julie. Julie, what are you drinking? You cheers what? What are you drinking? I see the glass, but let me know what's in the glass. Neil says that glass is off the hook, Pat.
yeah, it is. It looked like
All
it was a bottle. Actually, was it a bottle? They cut this. Oh no, it wasn't a bottle.
All right, so coming up to this game Sunday, man, what's the outlook to you guys? I mean, what do you think? We got a chance? Well, I guess you guys would think we have a chance. We have a chance, right? What do you
We
think,
totally
Michelle?
have a chance. We have a chance.
We don't got no chance in the world. What are you talking about?
We have a chance. We
Hassan
have a
just
chance.
came up with a 5-sack game. Their defensive tackle from Temple just came up with a 5-sack
He did.
game.
Yes,
All right?
from
He's
Temple.
going to line up on the side. Yes. So he's going to line up on the side.
Grounds, my hometown, the whole 9.
So he's going to line up on the side. We have a replacement tackle in Matt Pryor, who's going to stink it up, of course. And, Jalen's going to be out there scrambling. I don't want to sound like this. I don't want to feel like this. But at the same time, when you don't have able bottle backups, because we don't. Let's be honest. The guys that we have there is able to play these roles. They shouldn't be backups. They're damn near starters. Like the 6th offensive lineman, when he come in the game, we roll with the 11 personnel and put them in there as a fullback and stuff like that. That's a smart coach would do something like that. Not put these guys who are not particularly ready for these positions in these positions. They're gonna get hurt. Let's be honest with you. Jack Driscoll is a starting right. He's a starting right tackle in the National Football League, straight from college. He wasn't projected to be a first top 3 round pick. We drafted him like the 6th or 7th round, I believe, the 5th round. We got him in the 5th round. So he was supposed to be a project for us, just like Prince Tewango, a project for us. Now this guy is coming from the practice squad, and he's going to end up being, our integral part of the offense this Sunday. You're going to see Prince play.
All right, you worry too much, man. Jalen Hurts is not going to let him tackle him. Don't worry about it.
I mean, who's going to have? Look. I love Hassan. Just hometown, Camden, my school, TU. It is what it is. However, what is the likelihood of him having another 5-sack game back to back?
You're actually right, because normally when a player has multiple sack games, no, you're right, Michelle, you're right. When a player normally has multiple sack games, the next game is always been a letdown.
Yeah, so we're not going.
Don't
worry about 5 sacks. Don't worry about that, Pat.
Come on.
We're not giving him 5 sacks. Jalen Hurts is not that guy. He's not going to give him 5 sacks.
Now, if it was wet.
Yeah, you know what? As I went back and looked at that tape, it was some situations where Jalen got directly out of harm's way. But I was looking at it. It was one play in particular. It was in the first quarter. He went back to pass, and he got a little pressure to his left side. He was about to run to the right into a sack. He stopped, took his time, looked at the field, and delivered a nice pass across the middle. If that was Carson Wentz, he would have ran into that sack. And that's
Oh
that's
yeah, oh yeah,
that's the that's the different contrast that you see. Somebody's playing the game relaxed, and the other person's playing the game hurry. Carson Wentz is playing the game hurry. Jalen Hurts is playing the game relaxed.
yeah. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. That was one of the biggest changes I saw, and that was a great way to describe it because he was more precise, but he was relaxed in that precision, and he knew what he wanted to do. He wasn't scared. The spotlight or the moment wasn't too big for him. He's not been behind that offensive line long enough to see ghosts like Carson Wentz has. But Carson Wentz has been back there, 11 weeks, and he's seen this pass rush. And unfortunately, he is more focused on the pass rush at times than he is on his receivers downfield. And that's the end. That's the beginning of the end there. When your quarterback is worried about the rush more than they can focus on the route being run downfield. That's the beginning of the end. And I think that he saw ghosts. It's just proven to me. I can see it. I can see it the way he's antsy in the pocket and the such. And Jalen Hurts just doesn't. He doesn't have that worry about him. He's more relaxed and he gets out there. If nothing's available, he takes what's given to him and he runs and he gets out of there. And he even throws the ball away, which we've always been asking Carson to do that. But he throws the ball away also. So I'll give you that, Pat. That was an accurate description of how Jalen Hurts was back in the pocket on Sunday. Relax.
And you know what? From his days with Alabama to Oklahoma, he's been a quarterback that's always been under some type of pressure. But he's always had that cool facade. Like regardless of what happens, I know I can control what I can control. And a quarterback needs to have that. Needs to have that cool, calm, and collective outlook. Look at Aaron Rodgers. I hate to put this analogy up, but Aaron Rodgers just played with some atrocious offensive linemen. But every single year, he's a danger to throw for 3 touchdowns and 300 plus yards against any team, regardless of how bad his offensive line is. We have a prototypical quarterback that's 6'5", 237 pounds, 240 something, that has a nice arm, but he doesn't have that calmness to him. Everything he does feels like it's a rush. A wide open receiver will come across the middle. He feels like he has to rush that. When you look, when we saw Hurts this weekend, it reminded us of our quarterbacks in the past that were relaxed, playing the game and having fun. You're supposed to have fun playing this game. Not everybody gets to play this game on the level that you play this game. Go out there and have fun, be relaxed. It's no fans, so I don't know why you're rushing. I mean, there's no fans, so I don't know why you're rushing. So just go out there.
Because that 350-pound lineman is running after my ass. Maybe that's why
Well, if I'm their weight and their speed, no way in the world this 300-some-pound lineman is going to touch me. And that's what Hurts has in his mind. Hurts has in his mind he's going to fight for everything and anything that's given to him, and he's not going. No 300-pounder is going to get. That's the same thing that when I say Russell Wilson 2.0, I didn't mean that in the aspect that he has that same ability. Russell Wilson may be a Hall of Famer. Jalen Hurts has the ability to be a Russell Wilson. I'm not saying he is. He has the ability to be a Russell Wilson. The way he plays this game, relaxed. Now, is Russell Wilson the best quarterback or prototypical quarterback that you might want? No, because he played with a terrible offensive line and had to run most of the time. But he kept plays open and made plays for that team. Jalen Hurts has the same ability. Carson Wentz, he has that ability too, but for some reason, it's dissipated. It's gone.
It's gone. He started that way.
Mm-hmm.
He started that way. We all looked at Wentz's play, and he started calm, cool, and collected. It was almost like there was nothing he couldn't do, especially that Super Bowl year when he got us home field advantage, and even a year after that, even after coming back from an injury, he still had a calmness about him in the way he managed the game. But, after you're taking so many shots, breaking your back, your O-line letting you get sacked 40, 50 times, that calmness is going to wear away. And that's just any human being, no matter what sport you're playing or what job you're doing. If you're always under fire and coming under the gun, you are going to get a level of PTSD. And this coaching staff has done nothing to alleviate that. With rolling him out, with calling these other plays that can get the running game more established, so he's not always in the line of fire. They kind of just threw Carson to the wolves, to be honest with you. They really did. They didn't set him up for success, and I've said that before. They just kind of threw him to the wolves. They didn't keep developing him. We lost our OC. We lost the people that he trusted to sustain his level of play, and they never addressed that at all.
That's sad.
So,
it's sad because this guy has made some Hall of Fame throws. He has made some Hall of Fame throws. I'm saying that rocket to Miles Sanders last year in the Redskins game. There's only two other quarterbacks I could think of can make that throw, and one is Aaron Rodgers, the other is Pat Mahomes.
But what's to say about a coach that has an MVP quarterback that can break him?
Yeah.
Come on now. Don't give me an MVP quarterback. What you need? What you want? You want another coach? You don't want to talk to me? Cool. I'll go bring for other OCs and coaches. Like, come on, seriously?
Yeah.
How does he fall from grace so far? Mm-hmm. And that only has to be on the people that are responsible, for coaching.
I totally agree. Do you think if Andy Reid was the head coach for Carson Wentz, right? Do you think
he'd be straight? He'd be straight. If Andy Reid,
a better marriage. Might be a better marriage.
Yeah, I think Andy Reid is a quarterback whisperer. So yeah, I think he would be.
He is.
He would be in better hands with Andy Reid than he is with this bunch here. But that's the fourth quarter, man. We are going to be coming to you guys on Sunday at 3 o'clock because that's a 4:05 kickoff. So we'll be coming on at 3 o'clock on Sunday, and we'll have a preview all ready to go, and we'll talk about the Eagles versus the Arizona Cardinals. Of course, you're going to still hear controversy talk about Carson Wentz and the quarterback. But on Sunday, we just have to focus on the opponent that's at hand, and that's the Arizona Cardinals. We got to beat them. They're the next team in line. It felt real good to get a victory this week. I'm not talking about, as a team. I'm talking about, the walk around in my regular life. This is a better thing. Like, people couldn't mess with me. Now I had some ammunition for them and stuff like that. So I felt real good this week, and I want this good feeling to continue. So I'm looking for a win from our Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday so that I can talk some smack back to the boys. You guys, man, take it easy. Stay safe out there. The vaccine is coming, but it's not coming around that fast. So you guys stay safe so you don't have to be quarantined and can't show up on the show. All right.
Good, I got antibodies. I'm good.
You got antibodies. I got my recent test. I'm negative. I'm good, and I'm going to stay safe. But you guys out there that's watching, stay safe too. And we will see you guys on Sunday at 3 o'clock. I'm your man, Dante the Dark Knight, for Nichelle and Patrick. We'll see you guys Sunday. We're out. Peace.